Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach and today we're doing another ECOMI OMI video. Currently the price is 5782 on the lower, 5307 on a higher, 6214 over the past 24 hours. So definitely been seeing a bit of a dip, especially over the past 24 hours. Even here we went obviously from 6 all the way down to at an all-time low of 5327 today. Obviously I just said that anyway, but yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. But in this video, I want to go over Immutable because people are wondering what's going on here. I saw an interesting tweet that led me to this Reddit post. Thought we'd have a look through it right now. Let's jump straight into it. ImmutableX delays are because ImmutableX was having scalability issues. Always interesting stuff to see what people are saying when it comes to Immutable and just general stuff. Obviously, we saw the OMI utility program being put out like a couple of days ago. And obviously MCP was maybe a couple of weeks earlier. But let's go through this Reddit post, and before we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button, keep notifications on, and like this video if you like ECOMI videos. If you want to see more about stuff that's going on here, we're going to be going a bit about metaverse stuff as well in this video. I want to show some interesting stuff that I've noticed across the Web3 world. Let's jump into this article though, or this Reddit post. I see a ton of FUD about ECOMI not having it together and constantly delaying ImmutableX, but this is an issue with ImmutableX not being ready, not ECOMI. ImmutableX has been having scalability issues for a while, especially with a huge influx of new projects in October. Now, I'm actually running multiple channels on YouTube. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously to all of you, but to a number of you who've been following me for a while now, you'll know that I run a number of gaming channels, but I've also been running other Web3 channels as well. Not just this channel, because as some of you will or might not know, I'm new to NFTs as far as I haven't been on this for years. I think I started around March of this year, somewhere around there. But the way that I learn things is by simply going into it in full blast. So, you know, I make a channel about it, then I start speaking about it. I learn, I go hard on it, and then eventually I become a bit better knowledge about it than the average person. So that's what I've been doing with my Web3 channel. And we've been looking at ImmutableX a little bit. We looked at some projects going on there, and Immutable is just, they're going hard. They're going so hard with different projects as far as like, well, not they, but like there's a lot of projects that are being done on ImmutableX now because it's being seen as one of the best, obviously, blockchains to be on with the Ethereum stuff. Obviously, it makes sense, right? But yeah, we're seeing a lot of projects going on Immutable now, and obviously not just a lot of projects, but a lot of like important projects. Obviously, TikTok has partnered with Immutable. And we've seen some other ones too, but you know, TikTok are doing that. And really quickly, actually, let's quickly go through that just so that we can understand what's happening here. So we have here TikTok launches first creator NFT-led collection with Lil Nas X, Bella Porch, Brittany Broski, Curtis Roach, and more. Now, if we have a look at all of them, specifically Bella Porch, Lil Nas X, just these two combined is crazy, right? Then we have Gary V, who of course is also massive on this. We have Grimes, we have RTFKT, Curtis Roach, Brittany Broski, FN Mecca. I'll be honest with you, I know about 3 of these people, but that's because I'm not huge on TikTok personally. I definitely see the value in it though. I just don't use it personally. But yeah, like there's a lot of these things happening. Obviously then a lot of games are also being done on Immutable, and more are being announced. We're seeing esports stuff getting onto it with ESL, etc. So there's a lot of things going on here. So yeah, let's continue there. So royalty functionality was also only recently implemented, which is probably necessary to collect royalties on ImmutableX or OS marketplaces. ImmutableX seems to have competent devs and a good dev community, so I think they will resolve their issues. Like OMI, they are a brand new company and are struggling to work in what are built basically live beta environments all the time. OMI community shouldn't jump to bad faith conclusions in an industry where these type of, yeah, but you know, they will, because it'd be like that. Also, thank you to MHNK for posting this as per usual. Nothing you see on the channel and on this Reddit is financial advice. Okay, so people in a good way. Some people are saying thanks for the info. You know, this is good, etc. Thanks for the post. The photos are out today, etc., etc. But I actually had a look at this to see what was going on with the engineering, because you know, when people say about doing a due diligence, you go take your time and learn it. So. Apologies, I need coffee. Site reliability engineering at Immutable. This was posted about 9 days ago, but I guarantee most people haven't seen this. And if you're doing a due diligence about what's happening, and if you're worried specifically about Immutable and OMI, then this is stuff to know about. So let's jump into it. There's a fair bit to talk about, but like I say, if you want to claim that you don't need due diligence, then you got to know what's going on. Welcome to the first money post about how we're approaching site reliability, engineering, SRE at Immutable. At the lead, SRE for the ImmutableX platform, my challenges and those of ImmutableX engineering broadly fall into two categories: reliability and scalability. For example, scaling our ImmutableX REST API, its associated computer infrastructure and data storage, and working with external on-chain interactions of the Ethereum blockchain. Let me also be very clear right now. What I'm about to say is all going to be me reading from quite literally a script, right? You can see a script in front of me. Obviously, it's not a script, it's a blog post. But what I'm getting at is that I'm not going to pretend to know everything that they're talking about here. I'm literally just saying this so that you know, so that if it, like I say, due diligence, if it makes you more understanding, if it helps you, etc., then that's what this channel is for. It's meant to be a resource for ECOMI and NFT Web3 fanatics. My post today will be primarily about the first, however, a future set of posts are planned with a focus on on-chain interactions and how we are handling many of the challenges. Two of the guiding principle for SRE at Immutable are enabling scalability through automated infrastructure and operations reliability. We want to ensure our reliability matches what our users expect. We work with blockchains, so reliability is critical. Let me actually go back to what I was saying about not knowing or doing our due diligence. Realistically, my whole thing here is I know what the market is looking for, right? That's why I've jumped into ECOMI. Cavell has actually tweeted out some of my other channels lately to show that I really don't, I've got my own things, other things going on. But I'm passionate about this because I'm excited about Web3. I see a lot of things that excite me and I'm passionate about. But I mainly go over IP stuff, which is why you don't see me talking about tokenomics a lot. Generally, if I do an OMI price prediction, it'll be based on things that I find fungible: exchanges, IPs, products, user counts, all those things. But when it comes down to cryptographs, you've lost me, Generally, at least. I don't look at them a lot. Where were we? Let's go from here. With recent launches of the Gods and Immutable token, our protocol has seen a surge. I'm assuming that's got Gods Unchained. Our protocol has seen a surge of request rates. With that comes some challenges as a growing layer 2 scaling solution. Below I will detail one of our recent focus areas and some of the challenges. First, an influx of requests to our Edge APIs from legitimate and automated sources meant a number of key changes had to be rapidly designed and deployed. Additionally, gaps in observability made debugging issues difficult for our teams, and what worked for scaling, automated or otherwise, just 3 to 4 months ago required a rethink. ImmutableX continues to grow and bring on new partners, and the demands they place on our system increases. So the key changes are the following. This list is by no means exhaustive, but it gives an overview of a number of key improvements to the reliability and scalability of ImmutableX. We are excited to share these and their results. So the improvements we're looking at: 2 key changes to our architecture have enabled significant improvements in handling surges in throughput through ImmutableX. In the coming months, we will publish more results that continue to detail the continuous improvement. Lambda, API gateway, and 30-second execution time. Part of our architecture makes use of Amazon Web Services, Hypertext Transfer Protocol API gateway with Lambda integration. This means that your request via the API gateway cannot exceed 30 seconds. I'm not going to go through that. This constraint means that the underlying architecture must also be performant enough to always succeed within this time. More directly, however, we set ourselves a goal of, for 95% of request time will be no more than 1 second. This means that we had to make a number of changes at our API layers, and database layers. So to be able to achieve this, and we must be able to do this while preserving the sequential nature of transactions that we must preserve for layer 1 Ethereum. Planning and design for these changes has been ongoing for a few months, and since deploying these key changes, we have seen decreased error rates by 98% on minting from the 11th of November 2021 until 14th, 2021. 1 million tokens were minted without error, with 95% under 1 second and 99% under 3 seconds. And we can see the graph, right, of minting improvements, and also just mintings overall, I guess, from 2021, what would that be, 30th of October to the 15th of November. Decreased latencies. It can be difficult to achieve both reductions in errors and a reduction in latency, but this particular effort gladly has resulted in both. 2 practical examples come to mind based on our recent metrics. Though if you prefer a diagram, skip down. Minting and transfer, a key capability in ImmutableX as a layer 2 solution, is to provide partners with a reliable way to mint and transfer, all on layer 2. Previously, without key changes to database and architecture, these activities, when combined, would exceed 30 seconds and produce errors for partners. Claiming and withdraw. The recent launch of the token saw an incredible surge of activity. Many users experienced an error message when they tried. So I'm not sure if this part is necessarily going to help, because that's on the immutable token. So let's go a bit further. But you can see this if you want to. I'll let you pause here. Pause if you want to see this. And then I'll go over here and pause if you want to look through this. Okay. Database layer. One of our key changes was the migration to using Amazon RDS Aurora Post. Don't know any of that, to be quite honest with you. Removing any current or future bottlenecks for our key data stores. We can add database read replicas as our load patterns increase. Aurora supports scalable reads and writes where we pay for what we use. This has already proven useful in high throughput situations seen above, whereby we would bottleneck by an attached EBS volume. The two key scalability improvements have resulted in improvements across almost every aspect of ImmutableX, only the beginning. So this is what you can pause right now if you want to have a look at loading times on Immutable Link and Marketplace. By improving our usage of content distribution networks globally, we reduce load times by 80% for all key fronts of ImmutableX, so the Immutable Marketplace, etc. This reduced load time by over 3 seconds per user per visit. The improvements for IMX Link provides benefit through partner integrations as well. Hardening our protections while we continue through the work noted above the last months, we were led to a number of discoveries, one in particular that is worthy of mention. At times, we were receiving more than 2,000 requests per second across a number of IP addresses. This slowed down the overall performance. So now they have firewalls, allowing them to protect system stability against aggressive traffic. And in addition, we have leveraged AWS bot control and Shield Advanced stuff to protect against any API misuse. So I'm trying to make sure that we're not going through stuff that isn't particularly too important to OMI. But you can like read all this. Again, you can pause this if you'd like to. And then improvements to our active monitoring at the front end, back end, and infrastructure layers mean we can now be aware of emerging issues. One great example of this is seen below, where we are now monitoring for increased delays of on-chain activities. So you can pause to see the metric drifts if you would like to. Where to next? We have a lot of exciting future releases to share with our community and partners over the coming months. With these recent challenges out of the way, we can now regularly mirror and amplify production traffic, testing new features at a production scale before they go live, focus on automation, continue to test and iterate on new technologies that are available on our cloud provider, AWS. Whoopsie. Come on, join us, etc. So that's what you can, I guess, now expect from Immutable. And so I think I've basically exhausted the ImmutableX sort of question about sort of scalability and what they're doing with it. At the end of the day, ECOMI can't control what Immutable does. And to be honest with you, from what I'm reading, and to be fair, I'm not going to act like I know everything that's happening here. I know about 10% of what I just actually spoke about. I'll admit it. I ain't going to say I know stuff I don't know. But realistically, it seems to me as though this is definitely something that the team is working on. And the fact that they even put out a blog post about this, I'm happy. That being said, I want to have a quick look at this. This is kind of cool, right? So we see right here, the Metaverse Super Mega Yacht sells for a record $650,000. Now, this is on the Sandbox, right? Now, real quick before we go into that, let's actually have a look at what Sandbox is. Why Meta cryptocurrencies, the Sandbox and Decentraland skyrocketed today? What happened? The Sandbox and Decentraland soared 38% and 30% respectively on Wednesday. So what? An increased number of people believe that Metaverse will be the next evolution of the internet. They envision an immersive 3D virtual world where people can play and be, basically. While the idea of a Metaverse has been around for decades, Meta obviously has become a thing. The social media giant planned to invest as much as $10 billion to develop the technologies. Since then, investors have been bullish. Decentraland is one of the leading virtual environments who can create scenes, etc. Everything. I think everyone here will know what Decentraland is at this point. I think I even made a video about this. In fact, I know I made a video about this like months ago. On Tuesday, a virtual plot of real estate in Decentraland sold for a whopping 2.4 mil. And now what we're seeing is building for Sandbox Alpha, right? So that's all fun. And essentially with Sandbox, which we'll actually have a bigger look at some point because it is something that interests me. Sandbox has sold, or at least someone has sold, a mega yacht in the metaverse. This thing right here. So it's like it's almost like a mix between, I guess, Minecraft and Roblox, in gaming, obviously. But yeah, this is the yacht that sold for 2.6 million. Yeah, it do be like that. It do be like that, yo. So yeah, no, 2.6. I'm sorry, I'm putting out fake news. I don't know where 2.6 million came from. I'm stupid. I do apologize. 6 million. I'm not sure where the 2 million came from. That's crazy. At some point, it may be 2 million. Not financial advice, just saying. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to say the least. And, you know, we're meant to be seeing VeVe Metaverse, at least iterations of it next year. To be very clear, I am not saying that the VeVe Metaverse is going to be anywhere near the scale of even Minecraft next year, but I'm hoping that we'll see something cool and that I'll be able to report on something cool. With that being said, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. We've spoken about Immutable, we've spoken about Metaverse stuff, we've spoken mainly about Immutable though and the delays that we're seeing. I hope that we'll get some sort of update for it before December, which is what, 5 days from now, and if not, realistically it's most likely coming before 2022. But if you aren't happy about that, then that's fair enough. I really don't care. If I'm honest, I mean, like I've gotten heat before saying stuff like that before. To be very clear, I want everyone to do as best as they can, like genuinely. Like if you're watching this, I hope the best for you, honestly. But as far as like, people complain to myself and other ECOMI YouTubers, and I know that at least like some ECOMI YouTubers I think are new to YouTube, so like I see people posting screenshots of like bad comments. I don't do any of that. If you're following me on Twitter, you'll know that I don't post any bad comments generally, because I just don't really. I've got so many channels now. I don't really like even see them oftentimes. Like I'll read some of the comments, but not all. I can't. So yeah. Hopefully things go well, and I'll be reporting on everything happening over this year, next year, etc. I'm very bullish. But yeah, as far as like people complaining about OMI, like, it's up to you at the end of the day, but I don't want to hear it. So with that being said, if this video was interesting or helpful to you in any way, shape or form, a like is always much appreciated. And if you would like to be kept happening in this topic every single day, most time today, this is my channel, I cover everything on every single day. So if you want to be happening, hit that subscribe button, keep notifications on, have a great day everyone, and I'll see you in the next VeVe NFT Web3 video.